The Disruptor pack, released on the 27th of June 2024, is, as of writing, the latest DLC for Hitman: World of Assassination. It revolves around a mixed martial arts fighter and mysterious target known only as the Disruptor, whose performance was voiced by real-life MMA fighter and celebrity Conor McGregor. The Disruptor elusive target is, or if you're watching in the future, was, free for all World of Assassination owners to play within a month of its release. The idea is that while the original target is time-limited, paying for the DLC gives you permanent access to it, with some caveats that I'll mention later, in addition to some goodies that are appropriately themed. The star of the show here is the Ostentatious, an elusive target arcade escalation featuring the Disruptor elusive target twice, the first time with no complications at all, and the second demanding that you don't get spotted or change your disguise. It's a pretty trivial task that primarily exists to justify having the multiple stages needed to make this an escalation. On that note, it's worth noting that this is the same limitations as every other arcade escalation. If you fail or die, all of your progress in the escalation will be reset, and you'll be locked out of playing it for 12 hours. You cannot restart or replan a stage of the escalation after completing an objective, and saving and loading is disabled entirely. Conor McGregor, in case you couldn't tell by all the hints in the name, is Irish, which seems to be a secondary theme for this DLC's items, which are unlocked the moment it's added to your account. Included is a small non-lethal kettlebell with a shamrock and the colours of the Republic of Ireland's flag painted on its body. If you're running short on impromptu garrots, the Disruptor resistance band is green, I guess. There's also the Disruptor cane, which has a bulb on the top preserving a shamrock inside. Or at least, I hope it's preserving it. It'd be kind of weird if someone had to unscrew the bulb and replace the shamrock with a fresh one every few days. Fun fact, while the Disruptor cane's description claims it's made of mahogany, and the Dartmoor cane says it's made of cherry, the wooden parts of both canes are identical to each other. One thing I have to give all these weapons credit for is their consistent labeling. All of their names start with the Disruptor, so if you're looking for a bit of Irish theming, they'll all be found next to each other in the game's alphabetically sorted inventory menus. And finally, we have the suit. While free players who attempted the elusive target while it was live were left with this embarrassing look, those who are willing to shell out will get this wonderfully hideous fur coat with awful trousers and no shirt to protect 47's chest from the cold Hokkaido mountain winds. While none of the items can be found in Freelancer, a minor omission that I'd still like to see fixed, the suit still can, just like every other suit. In addition to this, the DLC comes with a number of cosmetics for 47's Safe House and Freelancer. Most of these are just improvements for 47's gym, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because it means it isn't competing with other DLC for any special spots like the kitchen table. But by far the best offering here is the giant pit of money outdoors you can light on fire. Unfortunately, that attraction does demand space currently occupied by my giant robot hand, and I can't choose which I want more in my backyard. Feel free to tell me which one I should pick in the comments. Well, now that we're in the section of subjectivity, I should bring up some complaints. First, I don't see too many reasons why the cosmetics in the gym can't come with the DLC items so you can bring them into Freelancer. It wouldn't present any balancing issues since there's already a free kettlebell in the gym and you get a free fiber wire much earlier. And getting a cane would be really cool because 47, amazingly enough, doesn't have one in Freelancer yet. It's disappointing that the street art and makeshift packs set a really good standard for integration of DLC items with Freelancer, and the stuff we've gotten since then hasn't been able to hit that high note again. However, I'm definitely still glad that Freelancer is getting some form of support with the house cosmetics. Second, I've personally never been very fond of the elusive target arcade. Even though the first level of the escalation lets me play however I want, I still feel like I'm committing to something when I start one. The 12-hour lockout after a failure can raise the stakes, but sometimes I don't want to raise the stakes. Most of the time when I get on Hitman, I'm screwing around or testing an idea that I had, and if I have to treat this specific mission with a special level of caution that no other mission demands, I'm just not going to play it. If possible, I'd like to see this made a proper alternate mission, preferably with support for saving, just like the Sarajevo 6 and special assignments. Hello, Future Cassidy here. I'm embarrassed to say that this didn't even occur to me until my internet went out while I was recording footage. But because the Disruptor is exclusive to the Elusive Target arcade, they're also unplayable when you're in offline mode. Now, in my personal opinion, I don't think you're in any danger of losing the DLC when the servers go offline. I highly doubt there's any chance of IOI taking the servers offline without pushing out an offline patch. But it does mean that if your internet has issues, if it's inconsistent and goes out frequently, then your ability to play the target may be diminished, as you wouldn't be able to start the mission when offline, and even if you did manage to get online and start it, you wouldn't be able to save, so that if your internet was knocked out by something, you'd be able to continue your progress when you come back online. And now we must come to the final evaluation. Is this DLC worth €5, $5, £4, and whatever else it might cost in any other fake countries where it isn't $6.50 Canadian dollars? Well, before you listen to my judgment, it's worth noting that A, I love this game, and B, I got this DLC for free from the developers.
Fine, just take it. Take it, it's free. All right, just get out of here.
So I most likely have a very different idea of value from you. That being said, this pack costs about as much as 20 Timbits, and its enjoyment will probably last about as long. I buy 20 packs of Timbits all the time, so I would absolutely buy this. If you want to treat yourself to a fun little Hitman mission in a stupid suit, then I think you can't do too much harm by doing the same. And I think I'll end on that note. If you want to know what's in the other Hitman content packs, there'll be a playlist on the screen showing my other reviews and a prompt to subscribe for any future ones. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Cassidy, and have a nice day.